Today we're starting the body of our bobblehead. We're gonna start it very similar to the head. We're gonna just have a little bit more clay than we did for the head. So I'm gonna start with a ball and I'm gonna make a pinch pot. So I'm sticking my thumb in the hole and pressing with the finger next to my thumb lightly to make that hole bigger, okay? The reason we have a hole, this is the bottom, so you're not gonna see the hole. The reason we have that is to keep the walls of our clay about the size of our fingers, so that way our clay does not explode. Okay, and then our second thing we need to make sure we have is the part that's gonna make it bobble. So we need it to kind of come up like a cone. So I like to kind of keep my thumb in that hole to make sure I don't squish it closed as I kind of just squish the top a little bit. Like the very last step when you're almost done, so you don't need to worry about it right now because it'll probably get smashed down. But when you're done, you wanna really just make sure you have as sharp of a point as you can get. Everybody's body should kind of start like this, and then you can alter it to be the base to be more square if needed. This is gonna really make sure you don't have to balance anything. So if you added like legs on here, then you have to make sure those legs can hold the body, and that can be tricky. So I really advise that you add like the legs coming out. Okay, so now I'm gonna start adding things on, adding texture, adding details. Remember that this is sculpture, so I need to pay attention to the front and the back. If your hole gets a little bit too filled and you don't want to accidentally make the outside bigger, then you could use a tool like this, and so then it can just kind of like carve out clay. Right now, since our clay is clay, it's squishy, so we can't just like set the head on and see if it'll bobble, but we can lightly kind of set it here and make sure that we are not covering up with the head. This much of it is just going to be inside and never seen. Okay, remember that we have to slip and score everything on, so wherever it's going to go, I'm making lines on it. That's scoring, that's the scratches. And then the slip is the water clay, which is your glue. That way when I put that on, right out, so I can fire them to turn them into ceramic.